Hello, everybody. Welcome to Environmental Social Justice. I am your host, Wendy Nystrom. And today we have Ms. Julie Davitz. She is the founder and CEO of Plus Media Solutions. Welcome.
Thanks, Wendy. Nice to be here again.
Nice to have you back. I'm going to say you are a return guest because Plus Media Solutions is an awesome company started talking about impact and communication. And you've grown a lot. So could you tell us, one, what does impact mean? Two, new stuff that you're working on?
You bet. Impact is complicated and it means different things to different people. So that's really where we come in, because that's where Plus Media plugs in, because that complex impact story is so hard for people to understand. Whether you're an average investor or whether you're a fashion conscious yet sustainable consumer, how do you know if the way you're living your life, the decisions that you're making are having a positive impact? And how do companies know that they're making an impact beyond ROI? So that's really where Plus Media, that's where our work resides in that space.
Absolutely. And ROI, folks, means return on investment. So the money you put in, you make more than you get out of it. One of the things, Plus Media, you guys do quite a bit surrounding communication, consumers and sales, letting people know how to thoughtfully purchase something or what they're going to buy. Does it make sense for what's sustainable? And one of the things you pointed out was, what has changed most recently is our technology. Could you explain, because that's a very serious talking point you have in your write-up, is that's the primary thing that's changed in our lives. How has that affected things?
It has affected things in so many ways. I mean, whether we realize it or not, technology is in everything we do. And frankly, AI, artificial intelligence or ML, machine learning, is already in so much of what we do. But we can actually harness that for good. And in many ways, that's what Plus Media does. So if you think about people all over the world, we're all consuming content all the time, webinars, podcasts, movies on our phone, on and on and on. And what most people do is they think that they are having an impact if they then like something on social media. Yeah. So Plus Media, my company, feels very strongly that a like does not equate to impact. And technology today allows us to measure behavior so that we can talk about concrete impact. So a perfect example is, let's say you're watching a film that has some message about the environment and climate change, and you think, oh my gosh, I've got to do something about this. In a typical setting, the film ends and you have this little moment of inspiration, and then, you answer a text or you've got to go pick up the kids or whatever.
Very true.
The sort of middle ground is maybe you'll get a survey. What do you think about climate change? Or what are your thoughts and feelings? Or will you take action around climate change? Surveys are really super easy to fill out, but they're very unreliable. So Plus Media comes in and with one click will give you a menu basically of opportunities, what you can do to learn more about that issue around the environment or climate change, or to the point of click here and purchase a heat pump, or make an appointment to get an estimate for solar panels on your house. So we are making that impact concrete, and then we are measuring that behavior.
One of the things, I love the fact that the impact is there and you're getting people right when it's fresh in their mind and at their forefront. But the impact and the engagement rate you're getting is pretty significant, because you actually get people to engage. And what most companies don't realize is this isn't just communicating to someone, buy the heat pump, buy this. Company can be like, hey, I'm trying to find employees, and your QR codes or whatever you use will help target someone who's interested in that company. Hey, here's some job listings for you. So it's
You know,
also,
you're absolutely right. And as many marketers and anyone in communications knows that you have a very small window of opportunity to reach that consumer. That consumer may be looking for a job in that industry or may be interested in a particular product, but there's a very narrow window of inspiration or engagement or interest. And that's exactly where Plus Media plugs in. So at the point of sale, or at the within the inspiring film, or at the inspiring event. We had a situation with a client in the clean energy space, in fact, that they were having trouble finding employees for this industry. And so we were able to have a prompt fill out an application, to work in the clean industry space. So our system allows a tremendous amount of flexibility, but it's all around sustainability and positive social impact.
and the positivity that you're also throwing out, when we talked about consumerism and reaching people with advertising and marketing lately has kind of fallen flat when they try to reach out to people interested in the climate. It gets a little too, turtles on a beach by my car. These are not related. And I'm not calling out a certain company, but I understand that their desire was to be this climate positive, environmental positive company. And the turtles are adorable and they had their little eggs hatch and they went back to the ocean. It's not going to make someone buy a car. I want to know where it's made, how efficient it is. Are you electric? Are you hydrogen? Are you renewable? What's going on? What your materials made of?
Right.
And we're seeing that shift. And you guys are really sticking it in there. You're really focused on that.
Yeah, I think lots of reasons for this demand from consumer. I mean, there's just the classic report just came out from Edelman, the trust barometer. Trust is way down, and companies need to rebuild that trust with the consumer. The way you can do that is answering the consumer questions at the moment that they want them, and answer the consumer's questions. So what we are doing is meeting that consumer where they are, and with the response, with the information that really matters to that consumer. Do we really matter, that there are turtles on the beach? Of course we do. But what does that have to do with the car?
Yeah.
What we know today is 1 in 3 consumers choose not to purchase a product if they don't really understand that product's sustainability story or their ethics story. But we also know that 65% of consumers will purchase a product if they believe the product is sustainable. So when companies push back on the sustainability ROI, connection around communication, like, wait a second, there is obviously a link here. And in order for you brand X, to do better with your consumer, let's be more transparent. Let's build their trust. Let's meet those consumers where they are, and let's measure impact as more than a like.
Yeah, and the measurability is actually very important, because if you can't, everything nowadays is data, folks. Data's in everything. And if you can't measure your starting point, you have no idea how to get to your end point. That being said, you've covered the shift in economy, you've covered the shift in consumer behavior, the shift in urgency, that's picking up fast.
Yeah. It is. And, goodness knows, I don't need to explain to you what we've been living with over the past 3 years, and really even longer than that. But because of that, there's so much confusion about what's right, what's wrong, what I can do, where can I do it. And there's also a shift. I call it the Amazon Prime effect. Everyone wants everything right now.
Yeah.
So we need to bring that to the consumer. We need that immediacy. We need that transparency. We can't overwhelm consumers, and we need to be really, really clear about those sustainability messages and what people can do. We consider it making it contextual. So, I'm outside of New York City. what is right for me to do around impact and sustainability. My opportunities might be very different from you being in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So what Plus Media does is offer those contextual opportunities. And that's why one reason we feel that our engagement rates are so high.
Absolutely. You do have very high engagement rates, which is difficult for most companies to achieve what you guys have. When you talked about New York versus LA, I did want to dive in that people do feel overwhelmed, especially if they don't understand what they can do. And so they tend to hide from it. So if something's overwhelming, like I'm not going to do it, can't do it, it's too much, it's too hard. You guys are actually tailoring the marketing and the communication outreach to people so they do feel engaged and that this is something manageable, doable. And shifting over to you have your impact communication CARE is required. CARE is an acronym that you guys came up with. Would you mind going through what the CARE is?
Sure. I mean, the ease of use really, if you know, for us in whatever we do, we want things to be easy. We want our computer to work. We want our TV to work. It's got to be easy, right? So Plus Media delivers ease in two different ways. First, ease to our client in that we're a plugin that works on any brand or in any platform. And second, ease to the user. And we feel that by bringing that ease, care is required. And we define care as C, it is contextual, consistent, and current. A is authentic, aspirational, and accessible. R is relevant, rapid, reliable, and focused on returns. And E is engaging, educational, and effective. In order to tell that impact story in an authentic way, you need to have care. And that's the way we craft our impact tools.
And that's brilliant. I mean, when you guys, because you don't do a one size fits all, you have phases that you offer. Or I might be using the wrong term, maybe different days, but you go through with your client, you say, what is it you want to accomplish? How do we get there? And then you reevaluate. Maybe step 2, you go back to step 1, talk to them again. What is it you're really looking to accomplish? And most people will just, especially environmental folks, this is all new to a lot of people. So they're kind of slapping things out there, seeing what sticks. Julie knows what she's talking about. So you actually tailor every little bit. So before we close you out, what's your ideal client look like? And what are these steps that you go through so they get an idea of what they can expect?
Mm-hmm. Our ideal client falls into 3 distinct sectors. One is any kind of content that has any sort of social or environmental theme or topic. A second would be an event with those same themes or topics. And then third, any brand who's really looking to tell that impact, purpose, sustainability story in a very simple way to the consumer. We work, you nailed it. We always start with understanding what the client's goals and KPIs are. We have a team of experts that have decades of experience in sustainability and impact. So then we go back and we curate those opportunities according to the client's goals and KPIs. And because what we do is digital, we can refresh that impact tool at any time. So if we see, wow, these opportunities in food waste are really getting a lot of traction, let's move them up in the list. We also learned that by putting a prompt to donate or give to a certain cause, we do not list that first because we know that people want to learn more before they decide to donate or give. Yeah. So best to move people slowly along that continuum of engagement.
You're right with the donations. I visit many 501c3 sites, and the first thing that pops up is donate. And then I go to it, I want to navigate. I want to read the next page. Donate. Like, just let me read what y'all do.
Right.
And it's a little distracting at times. So on that, great program. I mean, pretty much any industry would benefit from this. The communication and outreach, we need to do better at that with the sustainability world, with the environmental world, climate, and urgency of said climate. you guys are nailing it. You guys are just knocking it out of the park with what you're doing. And you have some, I won't name your clients, but you got some pretty heavy hitters that you guys work with. So
thank you. It's really exciting. You know, the possibilities of scaling, you know, positive behavior change, totally non-political. We're just trying to get a complex story more clear and more authentic.
Clarity is important. There's been a lot of misinformation with sustainability, especially lately in ESG, which is environmental social governance for those folks out there. So guys, please check out Julie. Check out Plus Media. It's a great site. It's easy to navigate. I've been on their site a dozen times. Give her a call. See what she can do for you. She's here to help. We'll talk. So Julie, thank you so much. This has been an awesome interview.
Thank you,
Always
Wendy.
a pleasure.
Always good to see you.
Always good to see you too. So guys, I'm Wendy Nystrom, your host with Environmental Social Justice. Check out Julie and Plus Media. We'll check you out later. Bye.